Hi, I'm Janet Doherty, and I proudly serve as the Executive Director of the Environmental Protection Commission. Our mission is to protect Hillsborough County's natural resources, its environment, and the quality of life for our citizens. 2017 marks the EPC's 50th year of environmental stewardship, leadership, and service to our community. Today, we are excited to share with you the history of our unique journey to bring environmental excellence to a changing world. Our story begins with Terrell Sessoms, who introduced the EPC Enabling Act to the Florida legislature in 1967.
I enjoyed sailing, and I had a little 16-foot sailboat. And I sailed out from Davis Island into the bay, and I noticed immediately that I didn't want to fall overboard. There were feces floating around in the water. It was pretty bad. And I said, well, what can I do about it? Well, I was in the legislature then, and I had some idea. We need to have a public authority that can compose some standards for clean water and clean air that can then enforce them. And I spent the next year figuring out how to get it done. The compromise I made was to make the members of the authority ex officio the Board of County Commissioners, so that we had elected public officials who were basically in charge. I began to get some citizen support, so I came back the next year, and with the change making the Board of County Commissioners the authority, it got enacted into law. So that's how it started.
While legislation was an important first step, our story would not be complete without the larger-than-life efforts of one man, Roger Stewart, EPC's longest-standing executive director. Roger took the reins of the EPC shortly after its inception. He was a visionary and a fearless advocate for the environment and promoted responsible development in Hillsborough County.
There was a feeling that on the part of some people, and especially the people that Roger has taken on. He showed Mike Wallace and CBS the poor side of Tampa and Hillsborough County, the problems that we have.
Facing fierce opposition from special interests and even the commissioners of the day, Roger championed the environment without regard to personal consequences. He was a forthright spokesman for the interests of the people and the environment.
Tonight, 60 Minutes takes another look at a man who tried to fight City Hall and lost. His name is Roger Stewart. We met him, and so did 60 Minutes viewers, a few months back in Tampa, Florida. He is not the first public servant who ever broke his lands trying to fight the vested interests in his community, and he certainly won't be the last. But we were intrigued by his fight, by the forces arrayed against him, and by the neighbors who rallied to his cause.
Why are you so stiff-necked? Why couldn't you compromise with them? Why couldn't you reach a working arrangement with those commissioners?
Somebody has to be the purist in the environmental business. Somebody has to preach the pure view. You've got a lot of people protecting other interests, but you've got nobody in a pure fashion stating the word environmentally. Now, someone has to do this.
Roger may have been an environmental titan to the public, but to his children, he was still Dad. Today, his daughter Amanda is a scientist in our laboratory.
He was always worried about everyone, so to his dying day, always wanted to make sure that someone was going to be there to do his work and to carry it on, and he trusted EPC with that, and that the people there are good people, and they'll carry on his legacy and continue the work that he was doing for them. At home, at work, wherever he was the same person, and he was always striving to support the people that worked for him and with him, and protect what he thought needed to be protected, which is our natural world, the environment, and the things that we need to move on in the future and for his children and everyone's children. And my proudest moments are when he showed his heart and his true self, to take all the attention away from himself and hand it back to the people who he felt really deserved it. He wanted everyone to know that it was really about them, and that's what makes me very proud.
Roger went on to be reinstated as executive director and served 30 years as a passionate defender of the environment and EPC.
What is important is that each and every one of you are involved in what I have been involved in, possibly more deeply than I have, and more significantly because you are the citizens of Hillsborough. I can't say too much more, except that it's been my pleasure to serve you. Thank you very much.
Equally important to the agency were the service and leadership we enjoyed under Dr. Garrity's tenure following Roger's retirement. Dr. Garrity, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Janet. It's a pleasure to be here today to help celebrate EPC's 50 years of excellence. For 15 years, it was my honor to serve as the Executive Director of EPC and to continue the great work of protecting our local environment. As you know, Tampa Bay is a premier destination in the state of Florida, in large part due to the beautiful natural resources that we enjoy locally. At the same time, Hillsborough County has experienced enormous growth in the last 50 years in residential and commercial development, as well as increased industrial activities. We recognize that this is necessary for the creation of jobs and the health of our local economy.
Finding the right balance between the needs of the environment and those of industry has not been easy. Through the years, there have been major pollution events that have adversely affected our ecosystems. The presence of an engaged local regulatory agency like EPC to address these issues has been key to ensuring that people who live, work, and visit here can enjoy all the natural beauty we have to offer while allowing the economy to grow and prosper. Over the course of time, our air and water quality have significantly improved. Our water and air quality monitoring networks are among the longest running in the nation, tracking over 40 years of environmental progress. This data is used for research, education, and planning, both nationally and internationally.
We have seen an increased reduction in air pollution through the retrofitting of power plants and waste incinerators with new state-of-the-art control technology.
In 1979, the City of Tampa upgraded the Hookers Point sewage facility to advanced wastewater treatment, eliminating the practice of dumping essentially raw sewage into the bay. This was the beginning of the recovery of the Tampa Bay ecosystem. Through continued, effective regulations, water quality has improved to levels not seen in decades. Seagrass is an important indicator of the health of the bay, and levels have increased an impressive 56% in the last 28 years. Other significant environmental improvements have been provided through our Pollution Recovery Fund. To date, this program has awarded over $8 million to fund over 150 projects designed to further environmental protection in Hillsborough County.
In 2007, the agency found itself under siege, fighting for the right to have stricter regulations to protect wetlands than those provided by the state. The citizens rallied to our defense, voicing their support for continued local oversight and publicly affirming the importance of wetlands to our area. As a result, we not only retained our local oversight, but we developed a more efficient, customer-friendly process for the review and mitigation of wetland impacts. As a result of the economic downturn that began in 2008, we lost 25% of our staff. It became paramount for the agency to find ways to continue to accomplish our mission more efficiently with less resources. We created our environmental and business stakeholder groups to assist in identifying issues and strategies to address these new challenges and to continue the agency's sustainability into the future. Because of our demonstrated excellence in environmental leadership, EPC has received delegation to administer over 15 major programs from federal, state, and regional agencies. Having delegated programs allows EPC to provide a higher level of service to our citizens. We were the first local agency to accept delegation of the Petroleum Restoration Program from the state in 1987. Since then, we have overseen the cleanup of approximately 1,400 contaminated petroleum sites. This program and others we administer are crucial to protecting our groundwater.
Dr. Garrity, thank you for your service and dedication to the citizens of Hillsborough County, and we know that your environmental stewardship will carry on long into the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Janet.
Our agency could not succeed without the support and dedication of local policymakers like Commissioners Jan Platt and Rhonda Storms.
Stay the course with EPC, don't change it. Don't change any of the environmental rules. There will always be those who will want to do that. And they're the ones who are being negatively impacted. But they need to be negatively impacted because obviously, if they had their way, our environment would be negatively impacted. And our environment comes number one. Our environment is number one. So it was EPC who would take the lead in speaking out and working with those companies to help clean things up. So now our bay is in one of the better conditions than it's ever been. And our drinking water is good. We're just blessed, and EPC has been right at the center. There should not be any weakening of any of the rules and regulations. This beautiful day, this beautiful air, the beautiful bay that we have are all because we have strong regulations. We don't want to weaken those. If we do, we're going to pay a high price.
The EPC is closest to the people. It's locally created. It's locally responsive. These are people that live right here in the community. They haven't moved up to Tallahassee. They haven't moved up to Washington and are not down here. You know, they're here. They shop here. They play here. They live here. They take their kids here. Their families here. And so they're invested in our community. And that's exactly the kind of government that you want. One of the things that we always talked about in our office was how kind EPC staff generally was to the public and to how they approached their job. They were not adversarial, and we appreciated that so much. It made it very easy to work with on difficult issues. So there has to be a way for us to work together so that people can have the use of their property and still enjoy the beauty of the environment and everything that makes Florida so golden to the rest of the nation.
Mahatma Gandhi once said, "The future depends on what you do today." EPC owes its success to its stellar staff, who invest their time, energy, and passion selflessly, giving their best, because what we do today shapes the future for generations to come. Our employees show their dedication and heart through their involvement in our community. Each year, staff participates in local food drives, blood drives, and other charitable activities. Through our emphasis on outreach, we develop relationships that educate and engage the public. Events such as the USF Engineering Expo, Earth Days EcoFest, STEM programs, and the Great American Teach-In help us achieve our mission. EPC's annual Clean Air Fair is a premier outreach event and recently won the Community Engagement Award from the Sustainable Florida Collins Center. EPC is more than a workplace. We are a family. We love our children, pets, and animals, and we support and cherish each other. In 2016, the EPC was awarded the prestigious Florida Governor Sterling Award for Performance Excellence. We are the first environmental regulatory agency in the state to receive this award. We could not have accomplished this without the full support of our board, and joining me is our current chair, Les Miller.
I can't think of a more deserving agency than the Environmental Protection Commission to receive the Governor Sterling Award, as well as your other recent accomplishments and recognitions. EPC has played a major role for 50 years, and we got to continue to make sure that you're around and continue to make sure that our environment is protected for the next 50, 100 more years. We need to make sure that EPC, number one, is funded properly. You're going to have to hire more staff because as this county grows, your responsibilities are going to grow. So we need to make sure that the budget is there for the EPC. You know, we make decisions on politics, and sometimes it's very frustrating. But in your case, it is not. It is about the science. And because our EPC does that so well and so great, there are other agencies from around the state that are calling on us to help them out. I can't recall many government agencies being the top workplace anywhere. And for a government agency like the EPC to be named the 2017 top workplace is vitally important. That means that the work that you have done as director in making our agency very diverse, making our agency the best it possibly can be, and making decisions that are finalized because of the science. Everybody enjoys coming to work. So I appreciate what the EPC has done. I appreciate what you do. I just hope that when I'm gone, you continue to do what you do. That's all that's important.
We want to sincerely thank our community partners, citizens, and stakeholders, because without your support, we wouldn't be where we are today. No matter what the future brings, we look forward to meeting the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead with confidence, courage, and integrity.